Butt kicking is back in town. Oh, yeah!
Welcome to the Turtle Power Podcast. Coming up straight from the sewers, this is your audio source for all the news, reviews, and insight into the world of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now grab a slice, tie your mask on tight, and enjoy this episode of Turtle Power.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 4 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle podcast. Well, it's not really a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle podcast, but it's the Turtle Power Podcast. We're not official yet. I am your host, Ryan, and with with me this week, and as always, my two co-hosts, my buddies, Darby and Alex. Yes, hello.
Bossa Nova.
Hello.
Well, Darby, you definitely have a catchphrase. Alex, I think we need to work on one for you. What do you think?
That's because Leo doesn't say anything. Maybe if Leo said something, Alex
Leo
would have
says
something.
nothing. Yeah, well, maybe. I did the Booyaka shot for a little bit, and then I realized how incredibly stupid I sounded playing it over. And, that's not going to happen again. So.
I think the only thing Alex could really say, I mean, if he's taking one from Leo, would be like, Raph, stop it. Raph, no. No, Raph. Raph, no. Stop it.
Maybe if I do the Booyaka shot with, like, a Spanish accent.
Booyaka
shot.
Or do it really, like, Spanish seductive. Booyaka shot.
What is Booyaka shot in Espanol?
El Booyaka show.
Guys, it's been a few weeks since episode 3. We've got a lot of new listeners, a lot of new followers on the Twitter, and
6.
A lot more than 6. No, we got a lot more than 6. We've got quite a few people. Thank you for to all of our new listeners.
Sure, it's not just us downloading it over and over and over again?
No. We not just downloading the podcast, but following us on Twitter, liking us on Facebook. So big thank you to all of our new fans. Any new acquisitions for you guys? I know you, Alex. I saw some of your new, new to you, but old acquisitions.
The newest thing I have.
Technodrome?
No. Oh, I wish. I wish. I think I might have to file for divorce before I even got married if I got the Technodrome. But the couple of new acquisitions I purchased. I found them on eBay. They were really cheap. I don't know if you guys remember the old cards for the original TV series. It's basically just screenshots of the of a moment in the cartoon, and then it just kind of gives it this little action on the bottom, and then on the back it'll actually give you a breakdown of what's going on. Like there's this one with Leo, and he's just holding.
Leo yells at Raph.
There's a couple of those too. Funny story with these as well is I bought a box of not even a box, it was I guess one of those sealed packages of baseball cards. It's actually sports cards in general, and in the package of sports cards there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collector's card.
Yeah, that was from like the second season, right?
Yes, second season. Most
This is great.
thing ever. And then as far as acquisitions, couple different comics, a few of the new Tales of the TMNT series. Probably one that the one that I enjoy the most is definitely the Casey Jones. It's issue number 56. Just released in March, and it's a backstory for Casey Jones. So it's I think it's gruesome, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was from the Tales of the TMNT second volume, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Animation is great. It's in black and white, which I love, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's pretty tight, and I know you enjoyed the bubble gum that came with the cards as well, right?
It was so I'm not gonna lie, I definitely tried it.
That gum has to be older than most of our listeners.
Yeah, and it doesn't melt in your mouth or in your. It's really it's disgusting. It's like
it turns into powder.
Eventually, it starts as like chewing toenails. Not that I really.
Whoa!
Where do I want to go there?
Is that a Spanish thing?
Maybe that's. For, I don't know if our listeners are ready for this,
No.
But yeah, the game was horrible. So yeah, I paid I think $1 for these, and it was like $2 shipping, so I totally got ripped off. But $3 a package, and then the actual package itself says 59 cents on it. Whatever, but
it's still a pretty sweet collectible to have. 'Cause, I definitely have no idea where any of my old Ninja Turtle collector cards, trading cards, have gone off to. But so seeing those, the ones that you've got, definitely brought back some old memories for sure.
Yeah, and then the other one that I'm pretty stoked about is the first comic. It was this is the fifth printing. So it was printed November 1988. So the actual fifth printing of Volume 1, Number 1 of the Turtles. So that's kind of a neat one to have too.
Yeah, it is, even though it's like the fifth printing, which I assume, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I would assume that the fifth printing had more so than the fourth, third, second, and first, as far as edition size, but still not one that you see too often,
Mm-hmm. And it was free.
It's always a positive. Darby, you just got a new shirt, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine on Facebook posted a picture from, I hope I'm saying this right, Quert, like QWERT.com, where they were selling they had like a 24-hour sale on this one Ninja Turtle t-shirt. It's pretty much 4 baby turtles pretty much climbing on top of each other, each with a different color bandana. My friend posted that on my Facebook page, and I instantly told her I had to have it, and then she responded, well, there's only 4 hours left on the sale. So I was standing in line at the bank, so I pulled my phone out and just instantly just did it all on my phone in a matter of minutes. And I was so happy that I posted a picture of it on our Twitter account, but the reason why I didn't post the web address was because it was already done being on sale.
Right.
Sadly.
And
it should be here in 5 to 20 business days, so I'm really looking forward to that. 5 to 20 business days. I don't understand the broad spectrum of that one.
That's not you exaggerating at all, then.
No, it is not. They said for our U.S. customers, 5 to 20 business days. For the UK people, it was like 30 business days. So
just straight up 30.
Straight up 30. I think they were probably like 20 to 30. Yeah, whatever. But nice. Should be here. I'm excited about that. But
what was the shirt? What was on the shirt? What was on the shirt?
I already said it.
You did? Oh, it was the baby turtles.
Four baby turtles.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah.
It was like baby turtles.
See, Ryan thanks our new listeners, but apparently he's not even listening to us.
No, I listen to Alex, just not you. Well, let me quickly get into. I'm not gonna go into a whole tangent about my newest acquisition, but you guys know, any of our Twitter followers might have seen. I did get the 4 turtles and Shredder, the new action figures.
Yeah, thanks for getting me a Donnie, by the way. It's not like you weren't there and there were extra Donnies because he's so popular.
Hey, I went through enough just to get these ones. So very quickly, news was hitting the web saying that they were arriving at Target stores, but they were only in the back. And yet some people were saying, hey, it says online, you've got it here. It rings up in the register. Would you mind, getting some out of the back and selling them to me? And various people were having various amounts of success. But people were having success. So I went to my local Target and tried to get them to sell them to me, and they wouldn't. So literally 2 days later, I went across the street, and Toys R Us just got them in, and they sold them to me right away. But Target said they were waiting until the end of July to sell them. So it just I don't know, that day it really got me fired up because they were right there, and I had at that point in time I had no idea when I was going to be able to get them. Lo and behold, it was 2 days later. But I was very, very happy that Toys R Us was able to provide me with them. Interesting enough, they had all of the characters except no April. Interestingly enough, and they also had the new both motorcycles, both the Foot and the Turtles motorcycles, there for sale as well. So. But I was just interested in getting the 4 Turtles and Shredder, and no, I'm not keeping them on card. So they're there for enjoyment. So
he's actually going to buy the sewer set next, and he's going to play with it while he's on the air with us here. It'll be quite entertaining.
Wait, who said I wasn't already?
Well, I know you're not yet because you're not like, oh, Leo, Raph, stop beating up on Leo. Ah.
You remember that scene from Spaceballs?
No, I said I didn't have an April. I did not get an April.
The helmet is so big. Raph, your side is so... Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, so let's get to the show rundown. We're going to be... starting off with the news, which is also our topic of the show, which is going to be our Comic-Con roundup or recap. Lots of news to go over. After that, we'll be discussing the character spotlights for this episode. And then we got a question, our first question in, and then our song of the show.
No, you're lying.
No, we've got our first question in. So
it's not from somebody we already know who's just trying to play along with us, right?
No. What are you talking about? No. This is a legit listener. This is a legit listener. But they wrote in and they had a question for us. They're a listener. So very cool. Looking forward to more from our listeners. So let's get on to the news. Alex, do you remember what you said in the last one for the news intro?
No.
It was something like news.
Oh, did I?
I think it was something like that.
I can rephrase that again if you'd like.
All right, so Comic-Con. No, we weren't there.
No.
All right, so let's move on to the character spot. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, thankfully, there's this little thing called the internet. Provides a lot of great information to those who weren't able to attend. Biggest, I guess, panel for Turtle fans was the Nickelodeon Turtles panel. The content explosion, essentially.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. It was interesting. If I was actually at the con, I mean, it would be really cool that you got to see all that. But I don't know if they realized that, like, all that information, all those videos hit the web, in either, a couple hours or a couple days. So,
I don't know that you should ever call it the con again, but okay. just saying.
So if you haven't checked it out already, head over to nick.com. Check out the Ninja Turtles link. It's right at the top there. Check out all their videos. They've got the Comic-Con panel right there. The whole thing, well, pretty much the whole thing. I think Rosangelo over at ninjapizza.net will be loading up her footage because she was there, and I think she said something about there's a little bit of the intro that they missed in their video, but most of the news though was I guess video based, really. You've got the new theme song. It made its debut, which I don't know if you guys noticed. I mean, they played the whole intro video and theme song, but I don't know if you guys noticed that you could hear that theme song in the first trailer that came out. You could hear it in the background and a little bit of it.
Oh, of course.
Yep. Okay. So
you know what I like? You know what I liked about the new theme song? Well, the video of it anyway. I don't know if anybody caught this, but the very last shot when the Turtles all jump up and they form together on the Turtles logo, it's a mirror image of the cover for the very first issue.
Yep. Yep.
They're all in their same poses, and I thought that was a great nod to the first issue, was how it all ended boom with them posing like the very first issue. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was definitely awesome. To that point, the beginning of it, where they basically zoom out from space, is very. It's almost the exact same introduction as the original television series as well.
Yep, I noticed that as well. Very good. Yep, there's some great callbacks for sure, and obviously the chorus, is the same chorus from the original, and the very end where it says Turtle Power, it sounds to me like it's the exact same one. Maybe just tone changed a little bit, but I mean it sounds like it's the exact same sound clip.
It sounds a lot like because in the original series, like in the original television series, cartoon series, for the bonus episodes. I don't know if anybody's ever watched the bonus episodes. It's a completely different hash on the original theme song. And I think it's a lot more like that, like from the bonus episodes than from the original. But I mean, it's all stemming from the same thing, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of people don't realize that there was alternate versions of the original theme song, just like how there were alternate versions of the 2003 series theme song. But additionally, we saw Dog Pound and Fish Face, I guess, modern equivalent of Bebop and Rocksteady or Toka and Razar, or it's this series version of those characters, I suppose. We had seen pictures online of these characters' action figures, and now you can see them in animated form in the intro. You also saw you also saw Spike, which is Ralph's pet turtle. You can see him on his shoulder while Ralph's playing pinball.
For a very split second, there's Spike. I wonder if that'll become anything later. Something big.
Yeah. It's just another example of these call-outs, to these other, Turtles series, which is interesting because in all the other Turtles incarnations, if you will, none of them really did that, where they kind of called out, other ones. They all kind of like to stay in their own universes.
They never called out to the other universes at all. I mean, forget about Turtles Forever, where the actual universes came together.
Right. Well, that's the only real example. Sure. Yeah, but that's what that whole movie was about, at the end. So, Spoilers. Michelangelo and Donatello still using the bow staff and nunchaku.
What is that? Why? Has anybody heard anything?
It's got to be because it's more kid friendly. I mean, I think, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
that leads me to wonder what, did they change their mind? Are they sticking with these weapons, or are they going to be switching them to the bladed versions that we originally were introduced to?
What do you
Raphael
think? Did break Donnie's staff in the training session, so that'd be pretty sweet.
I don't even want to talk about the training session. How about that?
Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about the training session here in a minute. So you think maybe that could be a reason why is that Donatello believes that his staff isn't well enough, or
no, I'm just grabbing at straws here. I'm just giving them an excuse to give him a new weapon. Like, well, Raph broke his staff during the training session, so why not? But
Alex, what do you think?
I mean, I don't even know if they're going to introduce it later on in the series. If they do, maybe it's like a rite of passage type deal. I mean, they start growing up, and I mean, it might be something we might see later on in the season. Maybe, I don't know. Like, you got to think it's. I don't know if it was a little too violent, but I mean, you can't really say that, I guess, because you got Leonardo running around with ninjakin, slicing and dicing. So
right.
I don't really. I don't know what the
heads
reason.
Off.
Right. Twice killed 2 shredders, and Donnie killed a 3rd.
Yes.
Ruff has 0 shredder kills. I just want to film them.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, well, you got me there. So, and then one thing I noticed, which I don't know if this is just a screw up or if this is in there intentionally, but did you guys notice how in the intro, Splinter is already in his mutated form?
Mm-hmm. He's already mutated.
When the turtles are, essentially, hit the ooze.
In fact, it looks like he puts them in the mutagen.
So, okay.
It looks like he finds turtles and just he picks them up and puts them in the mutagen. He doesn't just stumble upon them already being mutated.
That's an interesting.
I definitely see like a flashback episode where we learn a little bit more about that. Maybe episode 1, I don't know, but yeah, it definitely looked like he was placing them in the mutagen. So
interesting. Yeah, it's if so, I mean that'll definitely be a change. Going from the whole accidental mutation idea to a in this case it might be something where now if that were to be the case, then how did Splinter get to be Splinter as we know him now?
Yep.
And why does Raph even have a pet turtle? He's like the least nurturing of all 4 of the turtles.
Hey, when did this turn into a bash on Raph?
Pigeon, right? Everybody remembers Pete, Michelangelo's pigeon, right? So, if anybody, I thought Michelangelo should be the one to have.
Well, plus Michelangelo's he's the most kid-like, and usually it's the kid that wants a pet.
Right. You know what? I know what's going to happen. They're going to mutate Spike. They're going to mutate Spike, and he's going to turn into Vias de Milo.
Oh no!
Oh God! No! Never say that word. Never say that name. Ever. What is wrong with you? I want to use the Booyakasha button, Ryan. You mentioned Venus de Milo around me. You die. Come on.
Oh, that's funny. That's I guess a potential future for Spike. Turns out Spike was a Spikette, if you will. So
I mean, I definitely see Spike being mutated.
Mutated.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I mean, there already was a Spike that was mutated.
Yeah. Again, another call out.
Pretty awesome comics
to the previous.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting how certain aspects they're very respectful of the old incarnations and like to call it, have these call outs. And yet in other cases, they're like
little Easter eggs and
yeah. They're almost like Easter eggs. Yeah. Whereas
it's amazing.
So right, but then in other cases, they're like, yeah, we know people like Bebop and Rocksteady, but we're not going to have them at all. We're going to replace them with 2 totally different mutants. So,
Well, Bebop and Rocksteady were clearly a product of their time.
Right.
I mean, they showed it in Turtles Forever. They were clearly a product of their time. So
yeah. You could modernize them, though.
you could, but they wouldn't. I wouldn't be as into it. I wouldn't. I would just think that's another Mutant Rhino and Warthog, but that's not Bebop and Rocksteady. Bebop needs the mohawk and the sunglasses that he wears at night.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
Just saying.
Gotcha. All right, so obviously, if you haven't checked out the new theme song video, go online, check it out, and we're going to be playing the audio as our song of the week this week. As Alex mentioned, the Training Showdown video is one of the additional clips that they debuted at Comic-Con, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. I love it.
Of course.
Not for the reasons that you guys think.
It just proves that it's a cartoon.
Oh, okay, everyone's upset because Raphael wins.
No, okay, all right.
Again.
Here's the thing.
There was not faulty weaponry in this. Okay, go ahead and defend. Go ahead and defend.
He was using his not his actual ninjakin. It was just backup ninjakins. And I'm just saying he had Raph just like he had him in the fist. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it.
Hey, all I'm going to say about I love the training video. I love it. My guy didn't even get past the first round, so both of you shut up. Second of all, Donnie's bow twirling skills are freaking phenomenal.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's noticed this,
Yes.
but like in the Leo introduction video that they showed, Donnie is spinning the bow staff on his shell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
His twirling skills. I mean, you see how handy they are in a fight against Raph, obviously. But should have dropped the staff.
You're right. Very interesting that no other turtle incarnation has had that sort of bow staff mastery to where Donatello is, whirling the bow around like it's, like
he's bar none. Like nobody try to or attempt to do
the gap in the teeth is bothering me though. Why did he get stuck with a giant gap in his teeth?
Maybe season 3 they'll have
on.
Donatello get braces or something. I'm not sure.
Is it so he can talk like this when he's explaining nerdy things to the turtles?
Hey, you got probably one of the coolest voice actors with Paulson.
Yes.
He is the coolest
Rob
voice
Paulsen.
actor. Rob
Yeah.
Paulsen's the reason most people are even going to tune in. Like most fans of the '80s show is going to tune in for this one. Rob Paulsen's worth it. Rob Paulsen stole that whole thing. He stole that show. It was great.
The Comic-Con panel.
Oh,
Yeah, the panel. He was the funniest part of the panel. When they turned to Sean Astin and they said, "Hey, Sean, why don't you explain to us Raphael's train of thought?" And Rob Paulsen goes, "Yeah, explain Raph to me." Like I almost did a spit take. I was laughing so hard when Rob asked Sean to explain Raph to him. Oh my god, almost lost it.
All right, so the reason I really like the Training Showdown video, not because Raph, I mean, that's cool, but, I mean, it is really cool that he wins again. But
I mean,
the real reason is that this is our first real view into how this show is going to be. We've seen the intro, we've seen the trailer, but those are, they're just clips. They're just very short clips, kind of like shoved into like a music video. This was just a straight up, a couple minute clip from the show, or at least what the show will be like. If this isn't from an actual episode, it definitely shows what a typical episode will be like. And I love it. I love it.
It definitely shows how Leo is very respectful of the Japanese traditions, and Raph just doesn't care.
Well,
Leo's super. Maybe a little. He's eventually going to loosen up, but yeah, he's super respectful.
But watching these clips that they showed and watching the panel, I'm really excited about the voice acting more than I thought I would be.
Yeah,
I am not just because the best guy is voicing the best turtle, Rob Paulsen, Donatello. But I'm liking Jason Biggs as Leo better than I thought I would, and Sean Astin as Raph. Like, I'm really liking that.
Hey, my guy screwed a pie, so screwed you.
He did. That's true. That
And
is
very
true.
well.
No, I agree.
And this guy carried Frodo up the mountain to throw the ring in the fire.
He was also in Goonies.
He
He was also Rudy, though. Like
He was
that.
Rudy. What do you mean, Rudy?
No, I mean
watched
that's
Rudy.
great. No, I'm saying like that trumps everything. Like he was Rudy. Like he's got Rudy.
Oh yeah.
I did like how Sean Astin compared the turtles to the hobbits, though. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, there were 4 hobbits, and Rob Paulson goes, oh, that's right, you were in that little Ring movie.
Yeah, it's a great video. I mean, nothing more has gotten me excited. Nothing has gotten me more excited for this show than that short video, that training showdown video. Also, you also get an idea of how Splinter is going to be interacting with the turtles, and kind of his demeanor and everything like that too. So.
Well, he's a lot more agile. He doesn't have his his walking stick.
No, he has his walking stick.
He has his walking
he just
stick,
doesn't
but
need it.
Right, he doesn't need it. So which I guess they just have it for.
Splinter was always kind of like Yoda, though. Like he'd walk
Right.
around with the stick until it was time to fight. Then he could beat all the turtles with his eyes closed, and then he'd go back to using the stick because it's so hard for him to walk.
That's a pretty good comparison. I'll give
Yeah.
it.
No, I'm
very
surprised if Lucas stole it from him. I mean, he stole that idea from Eastman and Laird. Like, oh, that's a great idea. I should have Yoda do that.
We're pretty sure Yoda came out.
Splinter did it first. Splinter did it first.
Is that going to be a hashtag on Twitter? Splinter did it first.
Splinter did it first.
So in addition to the Training Showdown videos, we've also got a series of videos, Meet Leonardo, Meet Raphael, Meet Donatello.
Or Mikey.
No Meet Mikey, at least of
Not
the
yet.
date of this recording. And then the Meet Raphael, I can't find it on the Nick.com website, but I was able to find it on YouTube.
He's not kid-friendly enough to put on the Nick website.
Yeah, that's what it is. And we'll provide
He's a
links
bad
to all
example.
of these videos in the show notes as well on our website at TurtlePowerPodcast.com. And then we've also got a Meet Krang, which it's more of a. The other ones are more like kind of more like trailers, whereas the Meet Krang is another I guess clip from the show, right? Yeah, from the show, where they are using some stealthy ninja skills to infiltrate a facility where the Krang. Remember, it's a species now, not a individual alien. It's a species of aliens. So the Krang are inside this facility, and they're infiltrating to check it out. And well, Mike screws everything up as usual,
Like he does.
Yeah.
like he does. And then,
But to be fair, Mikey was the one who knocked out the Krang while the other 3 turtles were too busy screaming at it.
Those Krangs, like Krang looks super, super slimy.
yeah. What what'd you think
expect
about
a
it? What'd you
brainy
think
creature
about
to
it
be
as
kinda
far
slimy.
as the?
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's so deep purple.
Yeah.
On and on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's they're different but the same. It's kind of weird. They have longer tentacles, I guess.
Much longer.
And they can walk.
Yeah,
Or scuttle.
yeah, scuttle. That's a good term, scuttle. They can leap, jump, and stuff. Closer to how they were in the 2003 series. I mean the Utroms in the 2003 series, they could get around, if they needed to. They didn't have long tentacles or anything like that. Theirs were actually very, very short, but they were able to jump and stuff like that.
They still move pretty fast when they needed to.
Yeah. So check that one out.
To show you, size doesn't matter, but okay.
Like corgis.
check that one out, and then also
corgis.
there is another one that most recent one that came out. It's I guess titled "Green versus Mean." It's another trailer type video that kind of highlights some of the, I guess, various alien and mutant villains. I don't know if villains is the right word. Nemesis. Antagonists. There you go. That the Turtles will be battling against. So,
I just want to say Donnie has the coolest line in that trailer too. By the way,
what's that?
When April says, "Careful, Donnie, it's a dangerous mutant," and he goes, "That makes two of us," and fights because he's
That was good. That was good. Another Rob Paulson classic. There you go.
And then he throws a stick at him. Yeah, that's good.
and then he eats him with a stick. Giant stick. It's a staff, man. Whatever. Just like those knives that Leo uses. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you know what? And that reminds me, one thing that's interesting about the, and I didn't really notice this in any of the trailers, but in the action figures, Leo has, his katana swords. They are of different lengths. One is a little bit longer than the other. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, did you guys notice that in the show? In the show, it looked like they were the same length.
I wouldn't say I noticed any. The only thing I really noticed about the weapons, besides Donnie and Mikey still having their original ones, was Raphael's size seemed really big.
Yeah.
Much bigger than they used to be. I could almost respectfully use him in a video game with those size.
That does match the new action figures. They are significantly larger. Size do come in various size ranges. The ones I have are larger, I guess, than, they're on the larger size, actually. Larry, listen.
Oh.
Yep. Also known as glorified gardening tools.
Oh, man.
That's exactly. They were farming tools.
That's not nice at all.
Now, they were the most useful.
All right, Mr. Broomstick.
It's a staff. It's a love staff.
All right, so
I just thing comes in handy, man. In Ninja Turtles 2, when they're cleaning the apartment, Donnie's got a mop head on both sides, so he could actually clean twice as fast as all the other turtles.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The floor and the ceiling at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's a staff.
All right, so I definitely wanted to see if you guys saw that or not, and just point that out.
That you have size?
No, not that I had size. Just about Leo's various sword lengths.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the trailers and take a look at see if I can notice a difference.
Oh yeah, and you guys remember how Raph beat Leo with just one sai? Yeah.
Leo had just one sword.
That's pretty cool. But, he just had one.
Leo had just one sword. Leo only used one sword. He didn't pull out both of his swords to fight Raph. He only used one sword the entire time.
Well,
watch it.
Does that sound like a good idea or a bad idea?
It's a respectful idea. He respected Raph enough to only use one sword, so Raph felt like he had a chance.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the
Shredder first, by the way. Who killed the first Shredder?
In the very first one in the comic book, that was Splinter, right?
That was Donnie.
In the original comic book?
The comic book? Your voice just went up like 6 octaves.
I at the top of my head, I don't recall. Do you guys? Was it Donnie?
I'm like 90% sure it was Donnie. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90%.
All right.
I don't really care who kills who first. All I know is that Leo has more Shredder kills than any other turtle. So.
All right. So
there's not that many Shredders. Sorry.
It's still a fact.
Who stopped the Shredder from killing the prime turtles? In Turtles Red. It was Donnie. It was 1987 Donnie with the Shuriken. Just saying. 1987 Donnie, not even like the respectable Donnie. Well, this is a whole argument we can get into later.
All right, so I guess technically it was Donnie because Leo, slices him through, but he doesn't die. See, I was getting confused by the original movie because the original movie and the original issue 1 are so similar. But then Donnie throws his staff and knocks him off. That's right. So
check his skin count as a kill.
Donnie's awesome.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move.
I said this is
An additional
for a different time.
an
Can that just be
additional
our next
thing that
episode? Like we'll just argue our favorite. Lie.
I think that pretty much happens. That pretty much happens every.
pretty much happens every episode. Yeah. Moving on to the another item that of interest for Turtle fans that occurred out in San Diego was the Turtle versus Foot promotion. Essentially, if you went to this website, turtlesversusfoot.com, you could go there. You had to do a couple like online mission type things. You pick a side, Turtles or Foot. Send out some tweets or follow on Facebook, some sort of social communication, and then if you went to, there was a truck, or I guess the van. I think it was a truck that you could go to, and you could get a Turtles or Foot trucker hat for your participation. And then if you were wearing the hat around Comic-Con and one of the I guess Nickelodeon representatives saw you, you'd get a prize pack. And again, Rosangela was one of the lucky winners. So another cool thing that you could do if you weren't at Comic-Con, you could still participate in this. And if you did, you would actually get a phone call from either Shredder or Splinter. And this was really cool. If you would like to try it out, you can still call their phone numbers. Shredder's phone number is 866-421-4262. And Splinter's is 866-335-5784. And if you'd like to try that out, go ahead. Or you can listen to the Turtle Power Podcast, because we're going to provide you with all the audio. There was audio for both when they would call you, both Shredder and Splinter, and then also if you called them, you'd get a different answer. So we'll provide those right now.
Greetings, my pupil. You have fought bravely against the Foot Clan and their twisted master, the Shredder, who seeks only to destroy. Honor, discipline, love. This is the way to true power, the power of self-mastery. For what master could be wiser than the master of self? It is you who must prevail in battle, not your weapon.
You've reached Splinter. I'm not able to take your call right now. I'm currently lurking in the shadows, like a ninja. Please leave a message, and remember your training. Hajime!
Hear me, foot soldier. Fear is the gift of the strong to the weak. They choose to be dominated rather than fight. We will be cold, cunning, and ruthless. Tonight, I want all the turtles wiped out.
Hello, minion. I am not available to answer your call. I am plotting a revenge on Splinter and his weak disciples. Leave a message, or feel my wrath.
So there you go. That's all four of them, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it was a nice little experiment with some social, social media interaction, and it was nice though that you didn't have to be out at Comic-Con to experience that. And I'm trying to get one of those hats on eBay right now. So, I mean, I'm actually trying to get one of the foot ones because I've got plenty of turtle hats. So it would be cool to have a foot hat too. So,
Traitor.
So the last bit of Turtles news that came out of San Diego was at the IDW panel. Again, Rosangelo from NinjaPizza.net has a nice summary of what was discussed here. Essentially, the big news was that Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz are going to be doing a 48-page annual special for 2012, which is going to be focused on Raph and Casey. So that's going to be awesome. I mean, both those guys are working on the current series, but the current IDW series. But to have them, I believe Eastman's going to be doing the art on it, which I don't think he's doing the art on this one. So he's just doing more of the storyline stuff. So that's going to be awesome. That's so coming out later this year. And then there's going to be a 4-issue miniseries due to start in December called The Secret History of the Foot Clan. This is going to be essentially playing into the IDW storyline. And then as a kind of an unofficial announcement, Tom Waltz did confirm that he'll be doing a, or if not him, IDW will be doing a TMNT series tie-in with the new Nickelodeon cartoon. So similar to how the original Archie Adventures series was tied into the original animated series, similar situation here. I don't know if it's going to follow exactly, or if it's going to be kind of just in the same universe with its own individual stories, or what. Not a lot of detail there, but we should be expecting to see that hopefully sooner rather than later. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of the news, like I said, is in video form as far as, you're going to get the most out of it in checking out these videos. But still, I'd say the most Turtles news coming out of San Diego in a long time. And definitely looking forward to being able to go out there ourselves maybe next year and having a Turtle Power Podcast table out there. I don't know. We'll see. We're just now starting to talk about it.
Aiming really high on that one.
Yeah, it is, and we all live in Florida.
And if it's little else, we can, fall short and end up in Tampa because they have a Comic-Con down there. But
that's true. There's
a pretty big one in Orlando.
Yeah, they have a pretty big one in Orlando. So, one real quick thing that we didn't touch on with the panel was when they were kind of going through and showing all the when Zero was showing all the different, not all the different, but a couple different villains or antagonists. He showed Leatherhead.
Yes.
He showed
Krang, General Trag.
General Trag, which looks like
20 feet tall.
He's a sentinel. He's a sentinel. He's a sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rat King. Wow.
That blew my freaking mind. I think I even texted you guys that when they showed the Rat King.
You know what? I don't hate it. I hate it. He made a good point. He made a great point. It's like, this guy is literally living in the sewers. Like he doesn't eat enough protein to be that muscular and that buff. And he's gonna have more like a Fiddler on the Roof and Phantom of the Opera kind of, yeah. Which I think is gonna make him a lot creepier.
He
which
was
I think
really gaslit. When he showed a picture of the Rat King, my jaw dropped. I was like, that is gonna be wow.
Mm-hmm. And Darb, you mentioned something interesting about the voice actor for Shredder and his prior connection with the Turtles.
Oh yeah, Kevin Michael Richardson. When they asked Kevin Michael Richardson to say a Shredder line and he said wipe them all out, I was like, I know this voice. I've heard him before, not just on the Cleveland show, but I actually watched TMNT a couple of days before, and it turns out he is General Aguila from TMNT. So I thought that was pretty cool. Because he's got let's face it, besides Patrick Stewart, that guy has got the most booming voice in that movie. So it made perfect sense to me that they would bring him back to be Shredder. And I'm like even more excited now that I know that Aguila is going to be Shredder because his voice is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
His voice is not the same. It's really good.
So that's going to be the end of our news and our topic of the show. So moving on to our, at least it's one of my favorite segments, the character spotlight. And
pick me.
All right, Darby, would you like to go ahead and?
It's the first time I think I'm going first.
Go ahead and Well, who did you pick to talk about in this episode's character spotlight?
My character spotlight. I was very proud of this one because I wanted to pick. I try to pick really random or obscure characters. And in a way, I'm doing this for you, Ryan. I'm doing this for you. My character spotlight is a character by the name of Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody remember her?
The name is familiar.
I remember when I was with chilling with Ryan not too long ago, and I was going through he has got a full character list, and I remember seeing Mona Lisa in there. I don't remember where she was in. I don't remember what comic she was in, but I've heard the name.
Do you remember, Ryan? Do you remember?
Well, let's see, Mona Lisa.
Too late. All right, you should have known this from the very beginning. Mona Lisa was in one episode of the 1987 cartoon series called Raphael Meets His Match.
Oh man, yeah.
How could you not remember this, Ryan?
That now. Yep.
Where Raphael pretty much, I don't want to say falls in love. The closest Raphael comes to actually being interested in anybody, but other than himself, was when he met Mona Lisa in the episode Raphael Meets His Match. And Mona Lisa is a former physics student who was accidentally mutated when she tried to stop a nuclear reactor from a submarine from just going off. So that's how she was mutated into a sort of salamander-like creature. Now, she was a romantic interest for Raphael. She physically resembles a salamander. Kind of weird that she's got breasts and hair, which are mammal traits. But I think one of the main reasons I actually picked her is because we hate Venus de Milo so much. We do. But I always liked Mona Lisa. I don't know why. Probably because I was like a 7-year-old when she first showed up, or like a 6-year-old. But I thought she was good for Raph. It was the first time Raph ever showed any emotion other than anger or hatred. And I thought I was kind of bummed that she never showed up in any other episodes. That was why I picked her. But another reason I picked her was in the origin, Peter Laird actually talks about Mona Lisa. And this was great because it's kind of ironic or just really, hypocritical for, taken in today's context. He says, what many people do not know was that she was originally supposed to be a female mutant turtle. But Kevin and I put our foot down. This was back when we both agreed that a female turtle was a lame, stupid and creatively bankrupt idea. So they changed her to some kind of lizard. And even to this day, I still hold her in much higher regard than I do for Venus de Milo.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my character spotlight.
Very good. Very good. That was a good pick. Definitely. Alex?
No. You always go last, Ryan. You're gonna go last.
I'm going to go?
He's the host.
I don't care if he's the host or not. I'm putting my foot down.
Just building him up, man. Building himself is pretty special today.
No. See, now I gotta go because now mine's really not that good. But
You go ahead.
Mine's just a fun, cuddly character, and I would assume we all remember Cowlick, right? Cuddly the Cowlick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just a head. Cuddly Cowlick is just a head. A pretty head with a toupee at that. And when you're looking at it, it looks like a typical dairy cow, and realize that it has horns, and it's actually a male. I don't know how. I don't know how it's a male because it's just a head, but I'm gonna let that one go.
He's trans-dimensional, man.
He's trans-dimensional. He's trans-dimensional, and his species is categorized as alien cyborg cowhead.
Wow.
Which is that says it all. But the first appearance of Cuddly was Mirage Comics Tales of TMNT Volume 2, Issue 52. And if you remember correctly, Cowlick used to just eat you, and that's how Cowlick would transfer you, and that was the intergalactic travel method.
Yep.
So, speaking of intergalactic, that's how, if memory serves me, that's how the Turtles made it to the Intergalactic Wrestling Federation, was via Cowlick. So just a fun little character that we don't really talk about, and that is really just goes to show you how bizarre these comics can get. Like a cowhead.
Oh yeah. No, that adventure series was. Well, it was downright silly at times.
and my apologies. That was Cuddly's first appearance was actually TMNT Adventures number 7, because that's when the Intergalactic Wrestling Federation started. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. So anyway, yeah.
Very cool.
So that's my character spotlight. Short and sweet, but there's not really much to say about Cuddly.
That was a pretty obscure character. I'm pretty happy with that one.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. What you got?
Hold on here.
Ryan's going to talk about a belt that Raphael wore one time, and that's a pair of shoes, maybe.
How about the crack on a shell?
Yeah, exactly.
You could talk about the crack on his shell. You are right.
I think I'm going to do Undercover Donnie next time and talk about how awesome his fedora is.
That had to have been one of my favorite action. If not, you know what? That may have been my favorite action figure. One of my top.
Not a Leo.
There was something about that Donnie. Everybody had that Donnie. I don't know anybody who didn't have that Donnie. That Donnie was just so slick, just like Dick Tracy Donnie. It was awesome.
Yeah, he had a mask.
Yep.
And so awesome. Such a good toy.
Don't you dare edit this out. This is gold.
Don't do Leo. Don't do Leo. Can't do Leo.
The sigh that broke Leo's sword.
All right, so for my character spotlight, this is I guess I didn't want to do one that was incredibly random, but I also wanted to do one that was unique. So I'm going to be talking about Miyamoto Usagi, otherwise known as Usagi Yojimbo.
I knew you were going to do that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Because you put the thing up about Usagi Yojimbo a couple of days ago. I knew you were going to go that route.
Not mad at all. Stan Sakai, wonderful creation. Please go ahead.
Okay, so Alex, you can talk about him.
No. I'm not talking about Usagi Yojimbo. It's your character spotlight. Please, I'm not. Trust me. I'm very excited to hear what you got on Usagi. So please go.
All right. So, now this character is interesting because, yes, as you mentioned, is created by Stan Sakai. He is a character in his own comic book series, Dark Horse comic book series. The name, see, I was confused by this. The name of the comic book was Usagi Yojimbo, but the character name was Miyamoto Usagi, because Usagi is Japanese for rabbit. Now, essentially what happened was, if you go back to how he got into the Turtle universe, if you will, essentially he, Stan Sakai, he started off, as an independent comic book creator, just like the Turtles were totally independent. And essentially, Kevin and Peter and Stan got to be buddies, kind of coming up into the industry, kind of at the same time. And essentially said, hey, it would be cool if, Usagi Yojimbo shows up in the Turtles universe. And so they were like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. And so he was in the Ninja Turtles original animated series. He plays a part in the 2003 series. I hope he makes an appearance in the new series. I mean, there hasn't been any reason as to why he wouldn't, unless there's some sort of licensing issue. But and he even shows up in the Ninja Turtles 2, the Battle Nexus video game that came out on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I'm not sure if that was Xbox or Xbox 360. It was Xbox and GameCube. But anyway, to give you a little background about the character, he's anthropomorphic, just like the Turtles, except he's a rabbit. And a cool thing he has, he's supposed to be like a samurai, and samurais have the typical ponytail, essentially, and since he's a rabbit, he has his ears tied up, very similar way. So, he's got a whole history of comics that you could get into with his character, but as far as his interaction with the Turtles, it kind of always seemed to start the same way, where who's this this other guy? He's he has martial arts skills as well. We need to be cautious of him, but then of course it always turns out that they become friends and end up going into battle together to fight off the evildoers, if you will. So yeah, that's going to be my my pick for character of the week, and be really cool if we could get Stan Sakai on the show someday. That would be a great interview, and he still does interviews. I'd like, as Darby just mentioned, I just tweeted out a link to an interview that he just did that I believe at Comic-Con. So check that out. And I think that's going to be wrapping us up here.
No, we have somebody.
Oh, that's right.
God,
we have our question
already. The one fan we have.
We have our question of the. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. We'll give you the tour later, but right now we've got a few questions.
Yeah, a few inquiries.
Yeah. A few. We'll give you a tour later.
Give him room to speak.
All right. So
Yes, this question.
Yes. I've been waiting like all day to hear this because I'm surprised we have somebody who actually wrote in.
All right. So our question is from listener Brad from Chicago. He writes in and says, what about determining if there is any noticeable correlation between the turtles' personalities as related to the substyles of the Renaissance masters for which they are named? Or perhaps more simplistically, a proliferation of the master's use of the color associated with that turtle could be fun and intellectual. That's a win-win. And
I'm gonna take this one for a second. I'm gonna follow that question with a question. One, Brad, do you keep a thesaurus next to you when you write questions? And two, no, they don't. I'm gonna say the correlation between the Ninja Turtles names followed by their characteristics don't exist as well as people might think. And I'm basing this solely on my favorite turtle and Alex's favorite turtle. Because Leonardo da Vinci is actually, he's remembered as being one of the most creative artists of all time, and he also created a lot of machines and designs for flying machines and just really random things that he wanted to invent. And that is not Leonardo the Turtle. That is Donatello. That is Donatello.
It was the precision. It was the precision and strategy that he used. One. Two, as far as the coalition between colors, Leonardo da Vinci, one of his favorite colors was blue. One of his most famous quotes: "Thus, if one is to be 5 times as distant, make it 5 times bluer."
Ooh.
But do you really see Michelangelo the Turtle actually having the patience and stand still to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling? No. That would be a Leo. No, that would be a Leo trait. Leo would be the one patient enough to sit there and methodically plan it out and actually sit there and have the patience and the mentality to do that. That's a Leo trait.
I have no idea how Raphael the artist compares to Raphael the Turtle. No clue. But that does lead me to a bigger question, though, and one that we could potentially ask Peter or Kevin if we ever did get the opportunity to talk to them. How did they? Because we have the storyline of how the turtle or how Splinter picks their names. April. How did they pick their names? And not just in general, but how did they pick their names individually? Was it just random, or was there some sort of reasoning behind it? What do you guys think? Do you think that there is, or?
Like I said, I'm sure there might have been. Actually, those guys, from the way they created it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was random, because they created the Ninja Turtles completely random out of nowhere as a joke. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a random selection.
Yeah.
But I just think if you're going to correlate their names to their characteristics, you would have Leonardo's name be Michelangelo, and you would have Donatello's name be Leonardo. That doesn't mean I wouldn't like the character any less. That just means I would like a character with a different name.
Leonardo or Donatello was a great sculptor.
But Leonardo was the inventor, and that's Donnie. That's Donnie all the way. Don't even act like that's not Donnie all the way.
Okay.
Don't take this away from me, Alex.
One of the great things about this, because I'd love to hear that Donatello died. Leonardo commences apprenticeships with Verrocchio in 1466, which just happens to be the year that Donatello died. And Donatello was actually the master of Verrocchio's master. So Leonardo actually was the apprentice to Verrocchio, who was the apprentice to Donatello.
So then wouldn't you agree
you just
then
knew that off the top of your head.
So then if anything, then Leonardo should be called Donatello, because he's the one leading all of these people.
Well, yeah. That was in sculpting, anyway.
In sculpting.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think sculpts better, a katana or a bow staff?
I don't know.
Oh, you know. Shut up. I'll tell you what. I'll go chip at some rock with a katana. You can have a bow staff. Let's see who gets more pieces faster.
Probably a sai would probably be the best, right? If you have a pair of sais.
You mean the gardening
one
tools?
is you know, you can use the handle of one and knock on the other one, you know.
I mean, I can see Da Vinci though as
Chisel
the
away.
Leonardo and Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci is probably one of the most well-known names of the Renaissance, and you know, Leonardo being the leader or the self-proclaimed leader, it just kind of made sense to, you know.
No, but in terms of personality, and
sure, personality. Yeah, I mean, I get your point.
Didn't you just say that Donatello was the leader of like all those artists, like the apprenticeships and whatnot? So
for sculptors, yeah.
Well, whatever.
Oh, sculpt a
Booyakasha!
fantastic.
Booyakasha button.
Yeah. All right. So I think, I mean, if there is some sort of correlation, that would be really cool. I mean, maybe there's.
Like I said,
I mean, you could look at the color, maybe. I certainly don't know. Brad,
I mean,
Brad, if you're willing on,
obviously, and since Leo's favorite color is blue, okay.
Yeah, if Brad, if you're willing to produce a research paper for us, we'd be willing
Keep that
to
thesaurus handy there, bud.
read it and put it up on the website. So I think that's going to do it for this one. We kept it under significantly under 2 hours. That's good. We're going to try to keep the episodes to more like this length, you know, an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. So thanks for listening. Check out our official website, www.turtlepowerpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/turtlepowerpodcast. Follow us on Twitter, TMNT Podcast. Once again, that's at TMNT Podcast. What is that, Darby, again?
I completely forgot.
Yeah,
TMNT Podcast?
TMNT Podcast, that's right. And then, of course, send us in your questions, comments, anything, to email too at turtlepowerpodcast@gmail.com. And I know this is a big popular thing to do with podcasts. If you got a chance, head over to our iTunes feed. You can search for us on iTunes, Turtle Power Podcast, and rate the show and let us know how we're doing.
Let us know how much we suck.
Well, please don't do that. No, seriously. If you get a chance, more reviews, more good press will bump us up the list on results. So that's gonna do it.
If we get to 200 subscribers, I will personally deliver a Venus de Milo doll to Darby's storefront. Record it and put it up on our Twitter.
Hopefully
I've never been so excited to fail.
The Turtle Power Podcast cameras will be there. That's going to do it for this show. We're going to be closing with
you guys
with the new theme song from the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon.
Do they even have Venus de Milo
animated series? Oh yeah, they do.
I'll sculpt one
with your bow staff.
Oh goodness! All right, so this is Ryan and you guys say your names.
Bossa Nova. That's Darby. That's me.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So, Alex and Le Bouillon
French.
And we're signing out. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.